Greetings, Gente Puente! If you've been following along for the past few days, you know that I've been sharing some videos as part of our 1-year anniversary of the Gente Puente podcast on September 1st. I've shared about taking those first few steps to encounter people from different cultures. And we've looked deeper at how to work together, especially as diverse leaders. Today, I'm going to explain what does it mean to be Gente Puente. And I'm going to encourage you to sign the pledge to be Gente Puente in your community, your family, your school, your parish, diocese, or ministry, whether that ministry is local or regional or national. Maybe you've heard me throw around that term Gente Puente in these videos, or you saw the name of my podcast and you've wondered, what does it mean to be Gente Puente? Well, today I'm going to give you some of my thoughts, but then I'm going to dive even deeper in the anniversary podcast, which will be published on September 1st. So when I say Gente Puente, it's much bigger than just the people who are watching this video or listen to my podcast. It's much bigger than even Hispanic ministry. It's not about being Hispanic or non-Hispanic or being multilingual or monolingual. It's a concept that really applies universally. It's a concept that I've identified with ever since I was introduced to it as diocesan director of Hispanic ministry in 2004, and I strive to embody to this day. To be Gente Puente is to look for and take advantages of opportunities to bring people together, to create connections, to focus on what brings us together while respecting what makes us different. It requires an underlying belief that we are all part of one family, God's family. For Christians, especially in the Universal Catholic Church, it means we are all part of the mystical body of Christ. Like St. Paul said throughout his letters, we are all part of the same body. We all have a unique role to play. We all have equal dignity, and it's only when we come together that we truly form the body of Christ. Pope Francis has reminded us, Jesus excluded no one. He built bridges, not walls. His message of salvation is for everyone. For Catholics here in the United States, being Gente Puente means helping to create a church where everyone feels welcome, where everyone has a place to belong, where everyone is accompanied on this journey of integration into this body of Christ, where everyone has a voice, and where everyone has a chance to share their gifts and talents. My main goal a year ago when I started the Gente Puente podcast was to connect Catholic leaders, to encourage them to be Gente Puente in their ministries all over the country. Today, our society in the United States is in desperate need of Gente Puente who value unity in diversity and can bring an end to so much division. In our church, as we enter into the final phase of the Quinto Encuentro process, we need more Gente Puente. I have had the privilege of being on the communications team of the 5th National Encuentro of Hispanic Latino Ministry in the United States. And it has been so inspiring to see all that's happening around the country before and during the process at the local, diocesan, regional, and national levels, and now seeing the conclusions that are coming out of that process. If you were part of it, I really encourage you to participate in this last stage of hearing back from the national team and looking into the proceedings and conclusion documents that's coming soon in October, and then looking for ways to implement those results in your area. If you didn't experience the 5th Encuentro, I highly recommend getting a copy of the newly adapted guide called Creating a Culture of Encounter, a guide for joyful missionary disciples. It includes the same 5 sessions of the local process of the Quinto Encuentro, the 5th Encuentro, which follows the story of Emmaus, the road to Emmaus, and the themes of Evangelii Gaudium, including the missionary actions at the end of each session. But it's been broadened to be able to be applied to all cultural groups in the United States. So I encourage you to try to dive into that process in any group in your parishes and dioceses. There is a theme that I heard throughout the Encuentro process, here locally, and then during the national gathering in September 2018 in Grapevine, Texas. And now that we're going through the recorded interviews and adding closed captions to the keynote speeches from the national gathering, over and over is emphasized the need to come together as one church, many even using the term Gente Puente. As part of our anniversary celebration, I'm inviting you to sign the Gente Puente Pledge, to commit to being a bridge builder in your community, school, family, parish, diocese, or ministry. The pledge will go live on September 1st, along with the special anniversary episode of the Gente Puente podcast, where I will go deeper into how to be Gente Puente. There will be a free PDF of the pledge that you can print off and share, as well as a way to sign the pledge electronically, and I'll send you a personalized version of that PDF. So be sure to subscribe to the Gente Puente podcast. You can do that on Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio or Stitcher or Google Podcasts or your favorite podcast app. There will be some links below in the description so you can access the show on those platforms. If you have no idea what a podcast is, don't worry, you are not alone. It's basically just a radio show that you can download or you can stream on your computer or your tablet or your phone, and even your smart devices, like you can say, "Hey Alexa, play the Gente Puente podcast." There are hundreds of apps that you can use to access the show. Just pick your favorite one and then search for Gente Puente. We're probably on there. And if you do happen to find one that we're not on, please send me a comment below so that I know and I can add us on. Once you find us, just hit subscribe, and then you'll receive the new episodes right away through the app. And of course, I would so appreciate if you would leave a review, which will help other people on that app to find the show. If you've never listened to the show, each episode is either fully English or fully Spanish, and you can tell which language it's in depending on the title in the app. But even if you are not fully bilingual, I provide a transcript of every show and all the resources in both languages in the show notes. You can get to them by just typing patticc.com, that's PATTICC.com, / and then the number of the episode. The entire archives of the show is available. Right now, we're up to episode 33 has been published. Some of our most popular episodes are those that are about popular devotions. For example, Our Lady of Guadalupe in episodes 9 and 10, and the Posadas in episode 11. Some are about immigrants, specifically helping parishioners with a safety plan to prepare for a possible immigration raid in episode 3. How to help the humanitarian crisis at the border right now in episode 31, and building relationships with seasonal migrant workers in episode 32. Also those about youth and young adult ministry, like the episode about grupos juveniles, or young adult Hispanic groups, just young adult groups in general, in episode 5. Incorporating social justice in episodes 13 and 21, and then discerning vocations in episode 29. And the fourth category is those about bilingual liturgies and pastoral musicians in episodes 24, 25, and 28. I also invite you to come join the Gente Puente Facebook group, the link is also below, to be connected with other Catholic leaders who are striving to be Gente Puente. And lastly, don't forget to sign up for the email alerts at gentepuente.com. So you can be reminded when that episode has been published and when the new Gente Puente store goes live. There may just be a coupon code coming for those of you who are on that list. So start thinking about who you might want to buy some Gente Puente apparel or other items to encourage them in their ministry. The coupon will be for a limited time only, so you want to get on that. In the meantime, thank you for all that you do. May God bless you and your ministry as Gente Puente.